Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be 10 ways that I save on my groceries every week. Kind of 10 and a half because there's two different things that I'm lumping together in the first thing. So let's get right into them. The first one and a half is that I think that you really need to make a meal plan. And once you have a meal plan, you need to create a grocery list. And when you go to the store, do not veer from that list. One of the worst things that I do is go to the grocery store with zero plan without looking at what my week looks like and just going crazy. I usually end up with way too many snacks or way too many like fresh fruits and vegetables that I'm not going to eat and that are going to go bad. I usually don't end up with things that are actually going to make a full meal. And so I just really think that in order to stick to a grocery budget, you really need to go in with a grocery list. And I think the easiest way to come up with a grocery list is to meal plan for the week. Now, I do not meal plan for every single day. I do 5 meals a week. And the other 2 days, we either eat out or we eat leftovers. And I also don't plan breakfasts and lunches. Breakfast, we usually just do eggs, or I do buy like pre-made pancakes or Pop-Tarts or something along those lines because we don't really do like a sit-down breakfast. I'm not a huge breakfast eater, and my daughter's not really either. She likes to be up for a little while before she actually eats a full meal, and so we kind of do a brunch. And then for lunches, that just kind of varies. I usually will eat whatever's left over from the dinner before as my lunch the next day, or I will make a sandwich, or again, scrambled eggs, something along those lines. So I do only plan dinners. I only plan 5 of them, and then everything else I figure out usually with what I have in my pantry or leftovers, like I said earlier. All right, the second thing is actually something that my husband absolutely hates, but I don't mind at all, and that is to find protein alternatives. My husband doesn't think that you can have a meal unless you have like a meat. And I'm the exact opposite. Like, I am a sides girly all the way. I could go without meat most of the time, but I do think you need to obviously supplement your protein because it really helps with all the things. And so I do think that finding protein alternatives, one, it's cheaper because meat is just crazy expensive right now. We do buy our meat in bulk, so we do get it for a decent price. But if you don't do that, then protein alternatives are great. So beans, peanut butter, eggs, protein shakes for like breakfast or lunch or something are good ways to get extra protein. I just highly recommend finding protein alternatives because they're usually cheaper than getting the meat. So if you're like me and you could take or leave it, if you have, a steak, or if you just have a whole bunch of different sides, then highly recommend alternative proteins. Also, like if you use beans or something, it's super filling as well. The third thing is that when you are going back to the meal plans, try to meal plan around like what's on sale or what's in season. That is just a really good way to get things for better prices. And I'm not super good at doing on sale. If I'm doing the online shopping and if the coupon doesn't come up like right away, I usually don't pay any attention. I like Walmart because it just shows you the sale price. Like, you don't have to go find a coupon. And so I am a little bit better on when I'm doing online shopping at Walmart. Just kind of depends. I've been shopping at Walmart 99% of the time because it's been cheaper than Kroger lately. And so I do just highly recommend shopping the sales, shopping what's in season. I'm still learning what is in season and when things are in season. So it does take a little time to figure out when is the best time to do that. But I just highly recommend doing it because sometimes you can get really good deals on fresh produce just because all of a sudden it's in season. The next thing is don't shop for convenience. So don't get the pre-cut fruit, the pre-cut vegetables, don't get the pre-made meals. I mean, obviously I know that you have to do that. You don't have to. Obviously I know that it's super helpful to do that. It saves time. So you just kind of have to find the balance of, do you want to save the time or do you want to save the money? And so especially in this conversation where you're trying to save money on your grocery budget, just take the extra minutes, cut it up yourself. If you're not going to cut it up yourself, don't buy it, find something else. But I just recommend don't shop for the convenient pre-cut, pre-washed, pre-cooked things. The next one to go along with that is buy frozen produce. I buy the mixed vegetables in bulk. Like every time I go to the grocery store, I buy like 5 of the mixed vegetables. One, because my daughter loves them. She will ask for them as a snack. Like it's so crazy. Like she asks for the weirdest things, but she absolutely loves to just get those mixed vegetables in a bowl and she'll eat the whole thing. And I also think that they're really good to throw in casseroles, and they're just really good alternatives to buying everything frozen. So where I live, you can get the frozen bag for like 89 cents. The Bird's Eye ones are like $1, but it's super cheap. They're super good quality. I still think that they taste really good. Obviously, they don't taste like fresh, but they are better and closer to fresh than canned vegetables. So I just highly recommend going for the frozen vegetables. It's just a really good way to save money, and they're just really convenient. That's like the one convenience food that I think is okay, because like I said, they're like 89 cents or something. The next one is buy generic. Now I have been shopping pretty much exclusively at Walmart for a while, and I just buy the Great Value brand because I don't see a huge difference, and they 99% of the time are cheaper than other things. I've actually done a cost comparison between Great Value versus Costco, and I actually am finding that right now where I live, Great Value has even been cheaper than buying in bulk like at Costco. And so I honestly, at this point in time, don't know if I'm going to renew my Costco membership, because I just haven't really been shopping there as much, because I've just cost compared and I don't see a reason, because Costco is quite a bit out of my way versus just going to Walmart. But I just highly recommend buying generic. Now I do think there are certain things that you shouldn't cheap out on, like toilet paper, ranch dressing, peanut butter. That might be it. There's like just a handful of things that like get the good stuff, like don't suffer. Don't suffer. The next thing is that when you are meal planning, try to buy things that will last you multiple meals. So if you're buying a bag of potatoes, when you meal plan, use potatoes in more than one meal. That way your bag of potatoes doesn't go bad, and also you're not buying a whole bunch of different ingredients. The next thing is get creative with leftovers. I know that me personally, depending on what it is, I'm not the best at making sure that leftovers get eaten. If it's like a pasta or rice dish, I typically am really good with the leftovers, but basically anything else, I don't really eat them. I will save them, and a lot of times my husband or stepson will eat them, and so they don't usually go to waste, but I'm really bad about it. So one thing that I have started doing is if I make something that is like, if I make like a vegetable side and we didn't eat it all, I will make like a casserole the next day, and I will use those vegetables in the casserole. And then you make sure that all of your leftovers get eaten, and it's less that you have to buy for the casserole the next day. So I just get creative with your leftovers, make a second meal out of what it is. And I know that you can't do that with everything, but some things that we've done that with is if we have like pulled pork sandwiches, the next day we'll have pulled pork nachos. Or if I make tacos, then you can do taco salad, you can do like a taco skillet, you can do a burrito bowl. If you make chicken breast, you can shred the chicken up and make chicken salad, or you know, the possibilities are endless. But I just highly recommend trying to get creative with your leftovers, because one, it reduces your food waste, and two, it's less ingredients that you have to buy for the meals for that week, because you are reusing what you have already made, and you know, it's just a domino effect. The next thing is, before you go grocery shopping, take inventory of what you already have. I hate nothing more than when in my head, like something gets lost in the refrigerator, like it gets shoved to the back or the bottom of the drawer, and I'm like, okay, I'm out of that. Like I'm really bad with strawberries. I just threw out like almost a whole thing of strawberries because I thought we were out, but really they just got put underneath something in the back, and I repurchased strawberries at the same day that I threw out almost half of a container of bad strawberries. So just make sure that you take inventory. Be better than me. Keep your fridge organized so that things don't get lost. But there's just nothing worse than spending a whole bunch of money on groceries and then ending up throwing it away because you forgot about it or you didn't end up using it. I just absolutely hate that. I do give that stuff to the chickens, so it's not a waste, but I can buy the chickens a lot cheaper stuff than the stuff that I've been throwing out of my refrigerator. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is something that you can really only do if you're like me. I have a huge like pantry stock of food, I have a specific grocery budget that I stay with every week. And a lot of times, if it's a busy meal or we're going to eat out or something like that, with the meals that I'm making that week, I don't hit the grocery budget. And so if I have an extra 20 or $25, I will buy pantry stock items. So I will buy pasta, I'll buy rice, cream of mushroom soup, mixed vegetables, canned vegetables, I'll get stovetop sometimes, just things that I will have that then I can hurry up and make a quick meal out of later. And so because I have that, there are some weeks that I just shop my pantry for meals and I don't actually go to the grocery store. Or if I do go to the grocery store, all I'm getting is like fresh fruit for my daughter. I mean, that's really the main reason that I go to the grocery store every single week is because I like to keep fresh fruit in the house. Everything else, and veggies, but everything else I would buy, like, I would go to the grocery store once a month if I could, if it would last that long, because most of the stuff that we have would last that long. But because she likes so many fruits and vegetables, I do go every week. But that said, there are times when like I'm trying to do like a no spend week, or there are certain things that have been in my pantry for a questionable amount of time. I will just shop my pantry and that is how I make meals. And I will sometimes just make like a hodgepodge casserole. Like I call it kitchen sink casserole because it's a little bit different every time. It is usually like a cream of mushroom soup and rice base with a like cup of cheese, a cup of milk, and then like whatever vegetables or whatever leftovers or whatever meat I need to get out of my fridge. So like we had some leftover rotisserie chicken last week and I used a can of mixed vegetables, milk, cheese, rice, cream of mushroom soup, and we had kitchen sink casserole. Now, sometimes I swap out the rice for a pasta, but it's just something that's super easy that honestly my family goes crazy for. I'll make a 9 by 13 pan of it and it's usually gone. Like we usually don't have leftovers because for some reason, even though it's just a quickly thrown together casserole, they absolutely love it. And so it never never lasts long, but I do like to do that. One, because then there aren't things that are expiring in my pantry. Two, it makes me be creative. And three, then I don't have to go grocery shopping. So I just highly recommend it that if you have a pantry stock, just shop your pantry sometimes. It'll save you time, it'll save you money, and things won't expire. I know that some of these tips are probably things that you've heard a million times when it comes to saving money at the grocery store, but I hope that some of them were things that you hadn't yet really thought about and that they were helpful. So I would love to hear ways that you've been saving on your grocery budget because I think that the grocery prices are absolutely crazy and I'm doing everything that I can to stay within the budget that I had set like a year ago, which is really hard because things are a lot more expensive than they were a year ago. So if you have any tips, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.